I think on like a very elemental level, it was so that the reader would understand that we are moving towards the crash and that we're getting closer and closer. Like it is a literal countdown to the thing that we know is going to happen. So I didn't want people to get lost. Like I could have written about the first hour of the flight for all of the flight chapters, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted the clock to be ticking, literally, for these people.
Which creates anticipation for the reader.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also feel like when you're on a flight, do you feel like you're watching minutes pass more consciously than generally non-flight life?
I think time on a plane is really weird, like super weird. And maybe that has something to do with the fact that you're like not supposed to be, 30,000 feet off the ground. And so like time is different up there. Like, I don't know how many, how the physics would explain it as well. But like, I think time is completely different in the air. And if you're on like my husband is English, so like we go to England with some regularity, which is like a 7-hour flight or whatever. It's like you have to prepare yourself to just sort of like bank in to this location, this seat, this like these surroundings, this air. And there's like a attitude of like, okay, how do I get through the next 7 hours? Because this isn't real life. This is like what I have to survive in order to like resume my life off this plane. And like, how can I like be comfortable? Like, what stupid thing do I watch? That people do things on planes that you don't do anywhere else. Like I used to read People magazine on planes, like I don't anymore, but like, it was like, I would never do it anywhere else. But like, there are different rules for what, like I had to be like, it was escape. So I'm not here in this moment in this seat. And now, you watch something, I will watch like a sillier movie than I would watch normally on a plane. Cause I'm just trying to like find some kind of like a accelerated slope, like slide through time to get to the other place. And into that as well as like a undergirding of anxiety that you are suspended in the sky and you want to not know you're here as well. Like I've never really understood people drinking on planes. It seems like a nightmare to me.
Same.
The idea of being drunk and strapped into my seat, just like I can't think of anything worse. But I do get that that is another way, obviously, of like escaping. So I think it really operates differently. And I would and when I'm on a plane, I'll try to delay checking the time as long as I can, which I don't ever do in the rest of my life. Like, it's like, if I could I'll wait as long as I can. And then maybe, 3 hours will have passed or whatever.
That's really interesting. Like, because I always thought, plane movies or the kind of books I read on planes are very different than what I would normally watch or read. And it's escaping the self. It's like, I'm somebody else. I'm up in the sky. And that like allows time to move in a different way. Also, you sort of like accept this alternate reality. You describe time in the air. You say after 10:17, which is great because we don't have that many quotes for 10:17 on Author Clock. I was very excited for that one. 17 a.m. there is a monotony to time in the air. And I thought, I agree, there's right. And then you go on to describe the air temperature and the sounds and sort of like how like each minute sort of feels like it's like repeating itself over and over again in the air. But it seemed a little ironic to me in the context of Edward and the flight, because you label these minutes, they're sort of passing, and then 1 minute changes everything. And so even though time is monotonous and these minutes seem monotonous, we have like this idea that like 1 minute can really, really matter.
That's true. You don't know what if the next minute could. There are always things happen, obviously, in many people's lives that are before and after, and that that sometimes it's something like an illness or whatever, which is not a 1 minute thing, but often it's like somebody got hit by a car, or you're sitting in the doctor's office and you hear news, and it takes 30 seconds for the doctor to say that absolutely changes your entire life. There's just that is how life works, and we think we can manage and control our future, and to some you can try, and that's a good generally at a base level a good thing to do, to eat healthy, etc. But like we can't, and you just don't know which minute is going to be different.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. And then sort of in connection to the idea that like when we're on a plane, time is suspended and time is monotonous and we are escaping the self. Like the planes do seem like safe spaces away from this tension that like a minute can change everything in your life for the better, but also a minute can really destroy everything too. When you're on a plane, you're sort of taken out of like both possibilities because you're disconnected from the world. And then in the event of a plane crash, that's just like the greatest fear on a plane because things are not supposed to happen to change your life when you're up there.
My favorite thing is to bring a manuscript onto a plane and to read it for like the 6 hours that I'm flying to England, because I find that I can like enter into it in this like on every level in a way that I'm distracted in various ways if I'm on the ground. So like it's the best place for me to read my own work. And actually I've read like entire novels on planes too, not my work. I find it's a great place to read because there's nothing holding any of me back. Like all of me is like, great, let's go all the way in, because there's no phone calls, there's no, no emails, there's no internet. And also like, I don't want to be here. So like, let me enter these sentences and these pages and I'll fully experience it in a way that is very helpful.